everybody, and welcome along to the 15th of December. It's amazing how time feels to go so fast in December, isn't it? So let's see what we're painting today. Ooh, have you seen one of these before? This is a Mexican tin star Christmas tree ornament, and I can't wait to paint it. So grab your paints and let's get started. This Mexican tin Christmas tree is going to be a really interesting challenge for using essentially one colour to use it lots of ways. Okay, so I've drawn like a tall thin triangle and I'm going to flatten off the front, and then I'm going to do an extra line and an extra line to come off at the sides, and then at the top the star is quite difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a vertical line and then two diagonals like that, and we're going to just do a little V shape coming in on each of them, and then you can sort of neaten it up a bit like that. Okay, so we're going to sort of simplify it, and I am going to do a sort of line across the middle. Then we're basically just mirroring the bottom, aren't we? And then a line there, and I'm going to, from there, draw a point that comes out and then just comes into the side like this, and then we're going to do a triangle that comes out and comes into the side, triangle that comes out and comes into the side. We're going to do it again, triangle that comes out and into the side, triangle that comes out and into the side, and you've done it. Look at that, amazing. And then we're just going to do a few little extra decorations, little holes. We can't really see them very clearly on that side, but we can see them there, and we'll do some holes on the tops as well. So I think this is one of those ones which would be really good for you to go and have a little Google of what it looks like, because I'd never seen one before and I think they're absolutely amazing. So I'm going to give it a little rub out, and I'm going to tell you what the Mexican tin star Christmas tree is all about. So it's part of the long-standing tradition of Mexican tin art, also known as, and I apologise for my pronunciation, hojalata, or Hojalata, which dates back to the 16th century, and the art form involves cutting, shaping and embossing pieces of tin to create sculptures and ornaments. And the Mexican tin star Christmas tree is a particularly treasured tradition. So I am going to make a grey tone using my blue and brown together. And we're pretty much going to be using this colour exclusively. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a really dilute version of it. I'm going to make it a tiny bit browner, a little bit less blue. There we go, nice metally grey. And then I'm going to make a much more concentrated version of it. Oh, that didn't work. Now I am going to get a smaller brush here, just so I can get a bit more colour in. There we go. And then a bit more concentrated brown. So if you get your two tones mixed up and ready, and then we can start to paint. So I've got my size 0 brush, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to just paint the centre triangle, quite dilute, sort of tea-like consistency of paint. And then on the sides, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just paint in everything apart from the tops of the triangles, because we're going to try and get a little bit of metallic reflection on them. Now I actually think once you've got over the drawing bit of this, the painting is really quite easy. It's one or the other, isn't it, really, with us? And we're going to leave the star for the moment because we could add in a little bit of colour with that. Okay, so we need to just let this dry, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to up the intensity with the colours and start to choose which areas that we're going to just add a little bit more colour to. So I've given that a bit of time to dry, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to incorporate a little bit more colour into my metal colour, and I'm going to, with my smallest brush, add a glaze of slightly darker colour to up the sides of this triangle. So we've got 3 different tones going on there, which is quite cool. I'm going to use the same colour to paint in the sides of this one. And then on this side, I'm going to paint in the sides of this one. And then to finish off, I said we were only going to be using those colours, but then I suddenly thought about it, and I thought that metal reflects lots of different colours, doesn't it? So what if I tried using a tiny bit of a warm colour just on top? So yellow ochre. And then I'm going to use that colour for the sides of this triangle. I just thought it'd be nice to have the light bouncing on it a little bit. I like that. Okay, so we're going to let that dry, and for the star on the top, I'm going to outline it which gives me an opportunity just to sort of neaten up the shape a little bit. And then I'm going to attempt to get a bit of an unpainted line in here. That's looking rather fun. Okay, so now we are going to take our much more concentrated colour, and we're going to start to have some fun with some detail. So I'm going to put in the punched holes just with my dark concentrated colour. And then after that, back to this slightly lighter colour, and we can start to have a bit of fun with patterns. So I'm just going to do little sort of starbursts around each hole, which shows the metal being worked to create lovely patterns and things. But like I say, I think this is a really good one to have a little look at online, or you might even have one. Let me know if you've got one or if you've got a connection to this, and tell me what patterns you've got on yours, and then yeah, create your own design. This is turning into one of my favourite things we've done on the Advent calendar. I'm thrilled with it. I think it looks really fun. So for the top, I'm going to take my stronger colour and put in half a triangle now on each of the sections. And just a little bit of extra outlining, and I think we've got it. So there is your Mexican tin star Christmas tree. How lovely, and totally different to things we've done before. And I'm just going to give it a tiny bit of shadow. So there we go. Just like to ground it on the page a little bit. So thanks for watching. Let me know how you got on with that one, and I particularly want to know if you started off going, oh my goodness, no, I can't do that, and then came away rather pleased with yourselves. It's always good to hear some little victories, isn't it, when it comes to painting. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.